Sports Mix. Yeah. You in the mix, rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty. You in the Sports Mix with Kenny. News and knowledge. A lot of dope techniques make kids become scholars. You need to tune in. A lot of hot topics. When it comes to sports, Kenny sound like a prophet. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. Plus, he keep you up on all the hottest trends. Plus, you never know who he has as a guest. So grab a cold one, man, and just tune in. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports Mix. You in the mix. Rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports Mix. You in the mix. You rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty.
Oh, boy. Fellas. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, man?
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. What are we going to do, fellas?
First things first.
If I had the words,
get on the field.
What are we going to do, man? We made it to the bye week, at least. You know, now, no, I don't think none of us could have predicted 1-5 at the break, at the bye week, you know, a few weeks ago when we started, you know, when we did the preseason stuff. You know, I always got that I'm gonna wait till the fourth week, and it got ugly right away. You know, with the first week, with the fumble and the Derrick Henry fumbled, and he didn't fumble 3 weeks in a row to start the season, and they was all key at key times in the game. You know, Mr. Dependable. But 1-5. 1-5. Thank God I was on a cruise the last 2 weeks. and didn't really have to watch, but y'all know I found my way to the sports bar. And I watched the first half of both of those games, and it was bad. It was bad. I did a couple videos from the boat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I had a little scenery, you know, had a little water in the back. What you say?
Didn't you say 5 losses for the season?
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, the rest of the season, they might go undefeated.
We're gonna have to go on a run like we did in 2000.
Right.
You know, Trent Dilfer to the rescue.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, bro.
All right, so I saw like the first half of the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna depend on y'all guys for the just get the skinny. What did you see? You know, what was the outcome? I mean, we know the outcome, but what did you guys see?
And they tried to play inspired football early on. They hung in there. Defense didn't play really bad. They did not play really bad. I'm surprised they kept Rams to 17 points. I'm very surprised. But our offense, man, they look pedestrian, man. And under the quarterback of Cooper Rush, it just didn't look functional at all. And he had the nerve to question why they took him out the game in the fourth quarter. And and Huntley came in. He did the best he could. But ladies and gentlemen, we need Lamar Jackson back. We're in trouble otherwise. Do I think the season is a flush? Right now, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say no, because you got a lot of teams that's going to lose. We're talking about the NFL guys. Let's be clear. We've seen Pittsburgh have an outstanding second half of the season to make the playoffs. We're in the tough AFC North. Anything can happen. Pittsburgh is not that stout, although they're leading the division.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to flush the season. Now, if we lose that next one, we can cut it. But I do think we have a chance because you see teams are dropping off. They're losing. A lot of teams are losing. No one right now looks dominating or strong to me in the NFL. No one's standing out to me right now. We have a depleted team. We have a team with no identity right now, especially on defense. So I think that we have the rest of the season to build that up, to figure it out. Just like all the NFL teams, they still got to figure it out. Right. So I'm not going to flush the season, guys, but I am discouraged.
Yeah. What you got, Dano?
Yeah, I mean, Glenny wrapped it up real well, man. I mean, I'm kind of right there with him. I'm not throwing the season away. I think we got 11 games left. I mean, 9-2. Mm-hmm. You know, the rest of the way, you know, that might can get you in, especially within the division where we've already defeated Cleveland, and Cincinnati ain't moving too well this year. And again, Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is beatable if we can get it back together. The Houston game was horrible. Man, that game was a low point. They destroyed the Ravens in that game. But this last game gave me hope. Piggybacking on Glenny, that defense played well. That Rams offense is potent. And to hold them, I think.
Froze up.
You frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. First half.
Yeah, he's
still
frozen.
And some technicals there, Dean.
Freezing up, okay.
You back now? Yeah, but
can you hear me now?
Yeah. So
we go 9-2. We got a shot.
So I watched the first half of both of the games. The Houston game, I couldn't take no more at the half. I couldn't take no more at the half of that. Because it was ugly and getting uglier, and I just got up out of there. I said I got to go. And then Sunday. So did they fumble at the end of the half? At the first half when they had opportunity to score? It was something that happened that was just like, it's just kind of a mirror of the season. What? The Ravens. The Ravens had an opportunity at the end of the first half.
Flowers fumbled a few times. It
might have been Flowers fumbling because I didn't watch I didn't see the second half. So, but yeah, it just got bad. And I said, you know, enough is enough. I'm on vacation. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this. And now, what I will take away from my vacation, there were a lot of Eagles fans on this. There were a lot of Eagles fans on this cruise. A lot of them, and they played twice while we were on. They played Sunday and Thursday, and they lost both of them games. And
that's why the season not a flush.
It's not. Mm-hmm. It's not. And you know, I always say
they were on like the half yard line.
Yeah. I know it was ridiculous. But with I always say, man, you want to be playing your best football in December. November going into December is when you want to be really rolling. You know, this time of year, you don't want to lose these type of games. You don't want to be losing, but you know, you want to be playing your best football. You don't want to be playing your best football in September. Because like I tell you, like I be telling people be laughing and y'all lost to this team or you lost to that team. But in January, when you're in the playoffs, nobody care who you lost to. because you're in the playoffs.
Mhm.
You're in the dance. So you got to
Mhm.
play well enough to get there. And like both of you guys said, man, we know it's not over yet. You know, the season is not a wash just yet. And that's why, you know, when people you got to fire Harbaugh. The Ravens are not going to fire John Harbaugh if they feel like they still got a chance. I'm going on record and say that if they feel like they still in it, they're not going to fire that man. So it's good to vent and get it off your chest because a lot of people want him to go, but he's not going to go if they feel like they still got opportunity and they know like you playing with, like you said, you playing with a depleted roster. You know, you got a lot of injuries. You got guys just finally getting back into the rotation. You know, starting to get the pieces back. You got a bye week now you got an extra week to get people healthy. You know, so we're going to see. So I said for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks that Zach Orr was on the hot seat. His seat, he shouldn't even have a seat left now. You know, he should be standing up. He should not. He should be at the castle. I'm surprised he still got a job. Truthfully, I made a video on the boat after the Houston loss. I said his office should be cleaned out tonight, and that was the Sunday of the Houston loss. His office should have been cleaned out that night. And when Monday came, Tuesday came, and I hadn't heard nothing, I said, "Oh man, he gonna be here another week." I said, "All right, well, maybe next week." And then, you know, like you say, I guess the defensive effort was a little better this week. You know, they only gave up 17 to the Rams, who are a potent offense. You know, I don't know. I didn't see the whole game, so I can't really comment on how well they played throughout the game. But I haven't seen any press conferences or press clippings or anything to say that Zach Orr been fired. So I'm just going to assume that he still got his job for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that move was going to be made.
I say Halloween, and then I say bye week. So there's still a couple weeks to Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but his seat, he shouldn't be sitting down. That's for sure. He should not be sitting down. He should be at the castle right now. You know, trying to get it together. And I also said in some of my commentary that you know, with all these people screaming for John Harbaugh to go, I say Harbaugh is getting ready to go out like the guy on the Titanic, the captain of the ship. He going down with the ship, and he gonna take his guys with him. So you know, if Zach Orr got to go, then I'm going with him, and we going out the way I want to do it. You know, we're gonna do it my way, and that could be the nail in the coffin for him if it don't get right. You know what I'm saying? If the season doesn't get much better than what it is now, he definitely won't be back next year. I'm willing to lay a $5 bet on that. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy like my whole paycheck because then Bisciotti will mess around and re-sign him, you know, give him a raise or something. So I don't want to do that. I'll make a $10 bet. If the season don't get better, Harbaugh's out of here. But Ravens are not a team that's gonna make a move in the season. They haven't done it yet, and they've only had 3 head coaches. So, but they're not an organization that make those kind of moves. You know, they may move a coordinator in season, but head coaches, the Ravens are an organization that's about stability. So people that want Harbaugh to go, it ain't bad enough just yet. You know, and I don't have no inside knowledge of this, but this is just my interpretation of what I've seen from the organization over the last 20 something years, 28 years, 29 years, 30 years, well, however long it's been.
Yeah, 30. I think they celebrated 30.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with you that I don't think in-house panicking, because they were panicking. I think Orr would have been gone.
Yeah.
And I think he's keeping his guys. But I do agree. I do say at the next game after the bye, and that's who do we have? Is that Minnesota?
Let me see.
That's the Dolphins.
Chicago. They play the Bears.
Oh my goodness! And the quarterback playing well with the Bears. And no way you slice the cake, man. All these games are tough. There's no weak link in the schedule.
Yeah. So you got Bears.
At all. We could even say Cleveland, but Cleveland play us well. So we got to play hard the rest of the season, no matter what.
Yeah. So next 4 is going to be Bears, Dolphins.
Ain't no easy way
Titans,
out.
and Browns. No, there's no easy way.
And I'm scared of all of them. There ain't no easy way.
Nah. No
Hey,
easy.
but I say this on defense. Again, now this is just me. Dean, I don't know how you feel about it. I like Humphreys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes he slip up, but he play football. He sacrifices his body. He's proactive. He take his chances, and he's aggressive. I like the way Humphreys played, man, and you could tell he was trying to rally that young troop up on defense on Sunday. But I was proud of his play as a leader. He may not be as fast as he was and as sharp as he was, but he's a football player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
You know, the one thing I think what I try to do with the platform, right, is talk about football not from an emotional standpoint, you know, from the emotion of a fan. I try to look at it intelligently, you know what I'm saying, from you know, being doing some coaching and understanding, you know, when you playing a game not at full strength, you know, that term next man up it get a little overused, you know what I'm saying? Because like I've said it, man, you know, sometimes you as a coach, you look down that bench and you realize, man, I gotta throw this guy in the game. I don't have a choice. And you know before he get out there on that field, it's gonna be a fall off. It's not gonna be the same production. And sometimes, you know, like you say, Glennie, I'm a Humphrey fan as well. And there are times where, you know, it might look like he's getting beat or they picking on him. But the one thing I always say to people, and I try to have people kind of pump the brakes a little bit, man, is we don't always understand what's happening. We only understand what we see, right? So we don't understand sometimes what coverage is being called. We don't know that somebody might have been out of position on a certain play. And then on camera, we see Humphrey looking bad, but it could have been that somebody else was supposed to pick up or somebody else was supposed to cover. You know what I'm saying? And those are the things we don't know. And you know, these guys are not throwing each other under the bus saying, well, you know, hey, he was supposed to be here at this play. These things we don't know, right? These are the things we don't know that's happening. But as guys that understand the game, to understand football, we understand those things happen a lot more than what's talked about. Because, you know, the guys are going to look out for each other. They're not going to throw each other under the bus that way, you know. And so I don't always look at it like, well, they just picking on Humphrey or Humphrey just getting beat. You know, again, I'm not in the huddle. I'm not in practice with these guys. So I don't know what's really supposed to be happening. You know, and a lot of times I think, again, fans, we are emotional. You know, fans, we just want the product to look good all the time. We want them to go 17-0 every year. We want them to win every game 48-0. You know, that's what we want. We want the shiny car. We want that shiny car on the lot with no dents and the wax is looking, you know, the sun hitting it just right. We want everything perfect every week. And the reality is it's not going to go that way. And really, and you win the game by 1 point. That's all that matters. If I get one more point than you, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Don't matter how you get it. Because it was a 1 point in time where the Ravens, we had a thing, we just won ugly. It was never pretty, you know, back in the Flacco days and you know, the days when we had 37 different quarterbacks and all that. And Dilfer, you know, the year we won the Super Bowl, it was ugly. You know, but we won. And who cares? Who cared about how we won when we got the result we wanted? Nobody. So that's all I be trying, with fans. Sometimes I try not to engage too much with the back and forth because, again, man, fans are emotional. And the emotions say Harbaugh got to go. Like 2 years ago, he should have been gone. I've been hearing this for probably longer than that. He got to go. He should be gone. Zach Gore got to go. Y'all remember Lamar was a running back. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah, when he got drafted, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So, the emotions, man, just take fans. Fans don't really look at stuff from a realistic point of view all the time. And, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. I'm not going to beat up on people too much at this point. But, it is what it is. The season is not over at this point. We still can turn it around. And the main thing is number 8 got to get back. Because we clearly know there is no replacing number 8. And this year is the most glowing sign of that, because even a couple years ago when Huntley took over and he was able to finish out the season and get to the playoffs and all that stuff. And, we hung with Cincinnati in that game until he fumbled at the goal line. So it's a different team. Lamar Jackson is clearly the guy, and the point production is way down without him. Have they even scored a touchdown since he's been out?
They didn't score Sunday.
Did they score a touchdown the last week against Houston?
Yeah, I think they had 10 points, right?
Yeah,
they maybe hit 10.
Yeah,
they scored against Houston, but not the Rams.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you talk about those emotions, and it's true, especially with the expectations. I mean, this season, the expectations were through the roof for the Ravens. I mean, they brought in the guy from Green Bay. He ain't even see the field Sunday. Alexander,
Alexander.
Yeah, so the expectations were so high, and for the Ravens to be where they are right now is sort of devastating to the fan base, and everybody's losing their mind, and everybody's supposed to get fired and all that kind of stuff. But I think this last game really gave us some hope, or at least gave me some hope, that they kind of got the ship right a little bit. When you think about Derrick Henry rushing for over 100 yards in the game, the ground game was working, and then you also think about the defense was stingy. I mean, again, I think it was 3-3 at halftime or something like that. It was a real tight game, and that defense played well. They were able, with that Oweh trade, they was able to bring that other safety over, which allowed Kyle Hamilton to float. Mm-hmm. And I think that had a big impact on the game. Their running game, we stopped their running game. Even their passing game wasn't really that prolific at all. So that game, when you have Derrick Henry rushing for 100 yards and you had a defense holding a team to 17 points, then when you think about the 3 turnovers in the game, did I freeze up again?
No, you good.
I'm still good. Okay. And then when you think about 3 turnovers in the game, this was clearly a winnable game. And then when you insert number 8 into the game, this is easily a win for the Ravens. So, but I agree. The Chicago Bears ain't no joke now. Playing these teams, they kept saying that we had a weak schedule the second half of the season, or after the bye. But no, I don't look at it that way. The Steelers playing well. We got to play them a couple of times, but I just think that the key in this game against the Rams. Now, I was at the game, so I didn't get to see the TV coverage of it. Mm-hmm. But the big play was when we were on that half-yard line, and we had 3 consecutive or 4 consecutive plays or whatever, and couldn't get it over.
That's what happens. That's what happened. That's what happened. Right, that was right before the half.
That was the game right there. To me, that changed the whole trajectory of the momentum in the game. And they came out in the second half, and they started doing some things. They went to a quick offense, no huddle, and we couldn't substitute, stuff like that. So but it gave me hope. I like what Glennie said about Humphreys. The dude is a ball player, man. He's a ball player, and he's been a staple in that lineup for the Ravens for since he came in as a rookie. He's been there, other than the times that he's been injured. When he's on the field, they're definitely a better team. He seems to be able to settle down, that back end. I thought Trent Simpson played a good game. He was all over the field, and he was making some plays. And he's a big physical guy. And I think that the Ravens are lacking physicality on defense. I don't think we got no real big hitters, on the team. Kyle Hamilton and Humphreys are physical defensive backs, but I think we need physicality. To me, Trent Green, not Trent Green. What's Green's name? The rookie. He seemed to be overmatched. He seemed to be manhandled. He looked so small out there against them big linemen, and he hadn't been able to make many plays. The other rookie out there, Starks. I don't see him really making plays. His game is quiet, and I'm not sure if he's a little overwhelmed. Buchanan, another rookie. So you got 3 rookies on the defense, and now that Owe is gone, and Robinson broke his foot. So now you're really looking for the Ravens to come up with some kind of trade here. They got some cap space with the trade of Owe. So I think they're looking at bringing somebody in. They're going to need to bring somebody in. I hope they bring a couple of people in if they can to try to make this run in the second half. But this game, it did give me hope. And to me, if you insert number 8 into this game against the Rams, we clearly win that game.
All right. So I know, Glennie, you got the roll in a couple minutes. Give you the floor before you have to hit the road.
Did you go to homecoming, Glennie? How Morgan make out?
My knees are still hurting from walking the campus. It was a beautiful scene, and Morgan got the big win, 44-9.
Okay, good job.
That was great scheduling too, man. Great scheduling.
You got that right. Right on time. You got that right.
Yeah, I saw a little footage from homecoming. It looked like a good look out there. Good look.
But remember, the kid from Mervo started. The quarterback from Mervo started Saturday.
Okay, good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So is he the starter for the rest of the season now?
We don't know yet. I think it's game by game now. Okay. But you can tell he's still got some growing to do. But he a championship quarterback. He's gonna be all right in the next few years.
Yeah.
But just last comments on the Ravens. The Ravens always make a big trade. They always have a strategy at this point of the year where they pick somebody up, whether it's a savvy veteran or somebody come available. But I know they're going to do something. I know they're going to mix it up somehow, some way. They need some encouragement. I think the team needs some encouragement. So they got to do something. Offensive, I think they just got to work the kinks out, man. When Lamar come back, they got to work those kinks out. And defense got to gel and come together. But I do believe now in the upper offices for them to make some moves that will help our defense and let's move forward. I still think our offense is stout. One of the better top 2-3 offices in the league. We just got to gel. Once again, I'm not putting a flush on this season. But I do believe the Ravens are going to make some movement over the next week or so.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we will see.
Yeah.
We will see. All right, my brother. Well, I appreciate you as always. Thank you for your input.
Yeah, man. Y'all be easy, man.
Enjoy
All
that.
right, Lenny.
So we meet next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm in here. I'm here next Tuesday. We're gonna talk.
So
about
without the game, you still meeting?
We're gonna talk about that big trade they made.
That's right. We're gonna have something to talk about.
In the NBA next week?
Yeah, I think the NBA starting. I don't know when the season should be starting soon, but I know they've been playing some preseason games. I didn't watch a couple. So yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
All right, my brothers.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, Lenny.
All right, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I believe that trade will take place. I was a little disappointed. They did bring in the one safety, this guy with a hyphenated name.
Gardner Webb. Or Gardner
and they let him go or whatever. They got him out of his contract. I really wanted to see him on the field. I mean, I know he's a knucklehead.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that, they could but he a dog. You know what I mean? The dude is a straight up dog, man. And I think Ravens need those kind of players, but I know anytime you bring players, and I think they were talking about, his mental health and whatnot. So anytime you bring players, like an Antonio Brown or them kind of guys, what's the guy we picked up, that other receiver, former Steeler, we got him from Carolina, brought him on the team, and those guys can be real disruptive in the locker room, and I don't see, we ain't got like a Ray Lewis or Ed Reed up in that locker room who can chill everybody out right now.
Right.
Those guys could be a problem, but I'm looking for a trade or two for them to bring some folks in, and I when number 8 on the field, my thoughts is that he can win every game that he's out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I forgot you were going to the game.
Yeah.
So you had the perspective. You were live and in person. So where were your seats?
Yeah, I was actually on the upper level, man. But the seats were beautiful, man. And I hadn't been down there in a long time. And I needed to check this thing off my bucket list about seeing Lamar play live. And I get Cooper Rush. I get motherfucking Cooper Rush. You feel me? Now, when I got the tickets, the Ravens was healthy then.
Yeah,
it was fine, man. Everything was looking good. Then everybody started getting hurt, and I get to see Cooper Rush. So I was totally disappointed in that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, really disappointed. But man, it still, man, the atmosphere is beautiful. Upper deck, the seats were somewhere around the 35-yard line, 40-yard line. Really could see the field well. The weather was fine. It was great. The atmosphere again was great. Sitting in the stands when you hear people complaining, you catching it right there. And so great atmosphere. It's nothing like being there. Of course, you don't get to see. They got the screens there, but you don't get to see it like you see it on TV.
Right.
Sometimes you go to those games and you feel like you need to come home and watch the game.
Yeah.
You was just there. But yeah, I beautiful atmosphere. I got to see Lamar live, so I'm definitely going to get back down there to catch Lamar Jackson.
And the way they do stadiums now, it's not really a bad seat in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like Memorial Stadium where you might get the obstructive view seat or the way that the stadium was built for baseball and football, so you got a lot of out of bounds. It's crazy. I'm flipping through YouTube maybe 2 weeks ago, and you know how you get the videos that pop up, like I guess based off something I watched before.
Yeah.
Baltimore Colts versus the who were they playing? It was at Memorial Stadium. It was like 1980. Burt Jones was the quarterback. And they didn't show the whole game. They just showed basically the clips of the game. But they showed the whole 4 quarters. So I think it was every possession but it was just the condensed version of it. And I'm looking at the stadium, and I'm like, damn. Compared to, man, that looked like a dump.
Yeah.
Compared to what we got now, and
Absolutely.
We from the generation that loved Memorial Stadium.
Yes,
we loved it, but thank God for upgrades and I I'm probably gonna take some flack for this one, but I'm looking at that stadium and I say, Irsay didn't. He probably had the right idea, man.
No, he was complaining about the right thing.
Yeah. I know it ain't the popular thing to say, but I was looking at that, like I say, 2 weeks ago, and I'm looking at the view, and I'm like, damn, this is a dump. And, you got the dirt, the baseball diamond. So it's early in the season, it's like still baseball going on. So you got the baseball diamond down there. You got it's a whole lot of, from the sideline to where the stands are, it's a lot of open field on both sidelines. So it's just a lot of open space. Where the stadiums they build them now specifically for football, it's really no room.
Right.
And it looked better on TV.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a better look. There's no out of bounds. It's kind of they got the players, and then you got a little space, and the fans are right there. Now, but I seen that probably a couple weeks ago. I sat up and watched and they won the game.
Okay.
That was rare during them seasons. That 1980 season wasn't a good season for the Colts, but they won the game. Burt Jones, with the rifle.
Yeah.
He hit a couple bombs there, and Joe Washington was on the team, and Curtis Dickey was a rookie.
Yeah.
He was a rookie that year, and they had him and Washington in the backfield together on the case.
Randy McMillan.
Oh, Randy, I didn't see Randy.
Okay, he might not.
He may or may not have been there, but I know Joe Washington was still there.
Oh, and they was in the back. Yeah.
They was in the backfield together.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see, the upgrade that M&T Bank is compared to Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
And a good, you like I said, you can sit in the 300 seats at M&T and you can see the game just fine. You really don't. It's really not a bad seat down there. Only time it get rough when you up is when you're when the players going to the opposite end zone and you sitting in the end zone.
Yeah, it's tough.
It get a little difficult there, but you still can see the game pretty good.
Yeah, you can't get around that.
Yeah.
You can't get around it. But I thought about that when I was at the game and how great the seat. I'm in the upper deck, man, but how great the seat was, and I just looked at that stadium, man. It's a beautiful stadium. I think it's rated really high. I've seen some rankings on stadiums, and the Ravens Stadium is up there pretty high. We already know Camden Yards for the baseball is legendary. So as sports fans, we have two really, really nice facilities for football and baseball. So compared to that all-in-one Memorial Stadium thing that they used to do.
Yeah.
Half the football field was in the dirt.
Yeah, it looked horrible, man.
Yeah,
it just looked bad. And I was like, damn, man, we love Memorial Stadium. Some of my fondest memories in life.
Oh yeah,
were right there on 33rd Street.
Yeah.
And it took me a couple years to get warmed up to Oriole Park. I didn't like it at first. It was beautiful and all that, but the atmosphere down there was terrible.
Yeah, going through that change, man, is always difficult.
Down there with the wine and cheese crowd. You got people down there more interested in what they're selling to eat.
Yeah.
Than what's going on at the game.
It started rocking, man, when they had Mike Messina and Ben McDonald and that squad, man, when they was they was rocking and rolling. 2 or 3 of them years had real good teams. The stadium was packed every night. I was actually down there working those games, so the atmosphere was incredible during those years. Those were really good years.
Down there with Paul Merrill and all them.
Yeah,
all them boys.
Yeah, all them boys is on that team. Paul Merrill went from hitting 6 and 7 home runs a year to hitting 40.
Yeah, he's just a good hitter.
Yeah, right. He figured it out, right?
You know, a lot of guys have figured it out around that time.
A lot of guys figured it out. Yeah.
Even Brady Anderson.
Yeah, Brady hit over 50. He got the Oriole record now, right? He got like 52 home runs or something.
Yeah. Amazing.
Man. Brady hit more homers than Frank, and Boog, and all them guys, man. Eddie.
And he was a leadoff hitter.
And he was a leadoff hitter.
What a time. What a time.
Yeah.
What a time to be an Oriole fan.
Yeah.
Hey man. I just you know, just being away for a week. I'm around you know, some Steeler fans out there that I kind of, you know, chopping up with, some Eagles fans for sure. I had a couple good conversations with this one guy. He's a Detroit Lions fan. He, you know, and everybody's complimentary of the Ravens, you know. So you know, when you get around people that's not from this area,
yeah,
you just kind of get those opinions. So you know, they respect the organization. Everybody is very complimentary of Lamar Jackson. And just how good of a player he is, and they were like, you know, I'm like, man, we not looking real good right now. Well, they said, well, you know, you got Lamar Jackson's out, man. You know, that's a big piece, and I said, yeah, I understand that, you know, but again, the fan in me was talking.
Sure.
We want to win every week.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know Lamar Jackson is hurt, but you know, the next man got to step up. You know, I'm talking that foolishness now.
Right. That kind of stuff. Right.
Yeah,
even if the next man is Cooper Rush.
Yeah, you know, right. You know, and it's funny. I'm talking to a guy because Cooper Rush was with the Cowboys at one time, right?
Yes.
And this a Cowboy fan because they had so you know, in the sports bar it was like I guess like an oval shape. The wall was like an oval shape, and so they had the screens around the oval shape. So you kind of had to find the space, and space was limited because the place wasn't really big. And it's packed. So, you know, some people got there early and got the few seats that they had, you know, so they already monopolized the seats. So you just try to find an opening somewhere where you're not blocking. You know, I'm 6'5", so I can't stand in front of somebody.
Right.
I find a little space by the wall. I kind of was in the corner. And this Sunday just passed, the Ravens game was kind of in view of where I was standing. The week before, it was kind of in the middle, but I couldn't. So I'm kind of watching it from a slant the last time. But, you know, so it was just a little difficult to kind of watch the game. And then the way they were playing, I didn't want to see it no damn way, you know. Yeah. But so I'm just having conversations with people around the bar, and I'm talking to, they're like, well, who's quarterbacking for the Ravens? And I'm drawing a blank, and I couldn't think of his name, and I had to Google it.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush. Yeah, he was with the Cowboys. This is a Cowboy fan I'm talking to. He said, yeah, I wish we'd have kept him. And then I said, all right, where this conversation going at?
Yeah.
You know, because I thought for sure, you know, it was great to be one of them. We should have let that go and kept Cooper Rush.
Right.
But he didn't quite say they should have let that go. He said he should have just
kept Cooper.
Oh God! And here come the comments, and you know who it is.
Uh-oh.
You know who it is.
What took him so long? From prison.
Oh man! I tell y'all, man, this dude.
But you know, man, it's kind of interesting, man, that the Ravens, you know, pick a guy like Cooper Rush to be Lamar's backup, because Monken almost got to, switch up on the whole game plan when you got a guy like that at quarterback versus a Lamar Jackson. Whereas with Huntley, you probably can kind of keep sort of the same scheme. So it's real interesting. And then also, it clearly shows the Ravens offense clearly shows how valuable Lamar Jackson is.
Yeah.
I mean, even the offensive line play hasn't been good. A lot of talk about them, bad talk about them, but Lamar, with his ability, makes them better than maybe what they really are. So his true value, man, is really on display with the real impotent play that the Ravens been showing. I mean, it puts that spotlight on just how good that number 8 guy is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't get around that. And it was clear, with Cooper Rush, it's like they two totally different quarterbacks, style wise. But it didn't even look like they had a Cooper Rush package. It looked like they was just running the same stuff that Lamar runs. And we know Cooper Rush is not going to take off with the football. So he's not a threat. He's not a threat to take off and run with it. So that adds extra people on Henry when he's in there. And even though he ran well Sunday, that takes away the threat. And there was a couple things like predictability wise, when you watch the Ravens, third down, they always take Derrick Henry out of the game.
Yeah.
And it's almost predictable what's going to happen.
Bring Justice Hill in, and they already know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I just see so much sometimes, like, you just want some imaginability. Show me something different.
Right.
Show me something, man. I mean, take a chance. Put Hill and Henry in the backfield.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the goal line at the end of the half. So Derrick Henry gets him down to the 2?
Yeah.
They get first and goal. I think they ran Henry the first time. They come up short. Second and third down, they do the dumb play with. Now I ain't gonna call it dumb, but they do like the little fake tush push thing.
Tush push, yeah.
With
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Twice. They do it 2 times in a row.
Right.
And you got Henry back there.
Right.
Why not feed the horse that got you there? Right. And then you give it to him on 4th down on a sweep.
Yeah.
And he lose yards.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah.
I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, I mean, again, and I'm not. Again, I don't know what goes on in practice, but that's just common sense. You run the freight train. I mean, he got you and he was running the football well. You know what I'm saying? Why not let him pound it 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, and then on 4th down, maybe try something different on 4th. But come on, man. That I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand those play calls at that time based off what was happening leading up to that. I didn't understand that.
That was the game. That was the game right there. When they failed to get that ball in, 4 attempts down there, and they did not get it in, that was the game. That was the game right there.
Yeah, and I didn't understand that. I'm like, come on, man. This is not good. This is not what you need. A team that's struggling to get the ball in the end zone. You know number 8 is out. So you when you got an opportunity to get the ball you gotta get it in there. You gotta get it in there, man. It's you have to get the ball in there. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand that. And I know for sure when he got tackled on the 2-yard line, it's when I got up and walked out the bar.
You did right. Right.
Because a guy I was talking to, he was a Cowboys fan. He was a Cowboys fan. And he, we talking. So the Cowboys game was he really couldn't see the Cowboys games. He said he was watching another game because he liked them, but he said, I could tell you was a Ravens fan because you're the only one over here that's really tuned into that.
Yeah.
And I guess when something was happening, I was kind of making little gestures, and so he was like, yeah, I kind of figured you was with the Ravens. I didn't have no gear on. I didn't wear no Ravens, nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just, regular clothes, whatever. But I said, man, I've seen enough. He laughed. He got a chuckle out of that. He said, you gone? I said, yeah, I'm out, bro. I said, I done seen enough. You enjoy the rest of the game. I'm out.
Yeah.
That
said, was embarrassing.
The Landon said the line's supposed to get you a yard with anybody. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no excuse. There's no excuse.
None.
Yeah, he come behind that. Did you walk out the ball or the ward changed the channel? Nah. Yeah, they left that on. But and then it was a bunch of Steelers fans in there too. So the Steelers was playing Cleveland. And they in there, so they had the Steelers game on the opposite side. And then all them over there, they cheering and loud. Man, I was like, man, I gotta sit here. I ain't sitting here listening to this. I didn't get out of here. Damn Steelers, man.
Yeah. And man, if we look at this thing with some clarity, I mean the Ravens, we know number 8 is out.
Mm-hmm.
Roquan was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley ain't right. Humphreys was out. Matabike is done. They trade Oweh. I mean, when you're talking about injuries, what's the corner? Number 3, he out. Owusu or whatever his name is. I mean, this team is decimated with injuries. And the biggest one, of course, is Lamar Jackson. So I don't know if there was any expectations on the fans thinking that the Ravens were going to win any of these games with so many people out. I don't think that expectation was there, but I think that they thought, or we at least expected, for this team to be able to compete with Houston and put up a better fight. And that Houston game was a low, man. That was a real low. Really, man, when you think about in the history of the Ravens, man, that was some terrible stuff right there, But again, there was wholesale injuries, and we have to keep that in mind. So I don't feel too bad. I know they weren't playing great when a lot of those guys were healthy, but I think that Monken definitely needs to be able to come up with a scheme that can, beat that thing that Detroit was doing to us and having that spy on Lamar and other teams coming behind copying that. You have to be able to come up with a counter for that. And hopefully he will. And I think that the Ravens can get back to putting up points.
Yeah. And that's basically the injuries. When you playing with a lot of your key components out, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. It's tough to manage that.
Yeah.
At any point in the season, it's tough, and that's why you always put that caveat out there, man. Barring injury, you expect your expectations is X, Y, and Z. Barring injury, and once you got injuries, and especially with some of your main components, you got Lamar's out, and you got Smith out on defense. So it's tough.
I think Hamilton might have missed the game too, right?
Hamilton missed the game too.
The game, yeah.
I mean, he might have missed the Houston game.
Yeah, he wasn't at that Houston game.
And so I was impressed when we threw the interception, and then we came right back and got the sack and sack in the fumble.
Yeah.
That was encouraging. That was encouraging to see.
Mm-hmm.
I know Simpson is a guy we've talked about because he showed some promise,
Right.
and then he just kind of disappeared. He wasn't getting on the field. So
Right.
I don't know what that's about. And then this kind of hearing your summation early on that you say he looked good Sunday.
He looked good.
So I mean, I don't know what it is that why he's not on the field more. But I hope, if he looked good Sunday and they can find a way to keep him on that field, get him back on that field, because that's one of the things you mentioned it that I noticed as well. The Ravens are not physical. And not only are they not physical, but the tackling is horrible at times. I mean, it's like Pop Warner level horrible. It's like, and sometimes that defenses you gotta want to.
Yeah.
Defense is about attitude and exerting your will on your opponents, man,
and regardless of the sport, defense is like that, especially in football.
Yeah, for sure, man, and that's something. Again, we talked about it here, how we've been spoiled, with great defense, and we just kind of almost expect that you're going to have great defense when you watch the Ravens, and we know that's not the case no more. It's not the case. It's not an expectation. If you really watch the Ravens, that's not who the Ravens are. And when I listen to like the national guys and they talk about the Ravens' identity, they talking about Ray Lewis and them guys.
Right.
Ray Lewis haven't played here since 2012, man. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
that identity is really left with him, but you know how big the impact was.
Absolutely.
And we still talking about that in 2025. We still talking about the impact that Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs and them dudes had, and Haloti Ngata.
Right.
Like that level of defense haven't been played here in a long time. And the year when we had Roquan when he came at the trade deadline, and we had Patrick Queen and him, and they looked like the greatest inside linebacker duo.
Right.
That was going, man. That defense was good.
It was good.
That defense was good. They weren't Ray Lewis in them level.
No.
But they were good.
We're not gonna see that again.
No.
And I hope the fans aren't expecting to see that.
But you gotta remember, you're talking about fans.
Talk about fans.
You're talking about fans, man. Sometimes fans don't discern they don't discern the difference. They just, hey, plug and play.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's just like Madden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You make a trade, go get somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang, Landon said this might be the worst defense since '96. Damn.
He probably right, though. Yeah, I think you're right, Landon. I think you're right. I think he's right. Now, whether they can turn this thing around or not, I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But up to this point, I agree with you, Landon.
Damn.
It's the worst I've seen.
Yeah. In the words of Charles Barkley, Ray Lewis rolling over in his grave.
Rolling over in his grave.
God damn. And goddamn Ray be at the games, don't
it? Yeah, right, Ray. Yeah, Ray, man. Ray ready bust a vein, boy. He pissed. Ray ready to suit up.
Here go one for you.
Man, what is wrong with Landon, man? Come on, man. Talk to me, Kenny. Y'all was up there working together, man. What's wrong with this guy, man?
And this is how it was at work. It just one right after the other. You know what I'm saying? Never a dull moment with this guy. For those that don't know, my co-host was a hell of a dancer in his day.
Back in the day.
In his day, he was one of them ones that, stop what you're doing to watch what he's doing. He was one of them guys. So
that's what Landon referring to.
That's what Landon referring to. He just making reference to that, to those days.
Oh boy.
Maybe that might be a little more interesting to watch.
Yeah, these days.
What we're seeing with the Ravens.
Ravens tough to watch, man.
Yeah, tough is an understatement.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Yeah.
Tough is an understatement. But we watching every week.
Yeah.
We watching every week. Thank goodness it's a bye week this week.
Yeah. And I think that for the most part, man, there's a lot of true fans, that love the Ravens. They're gonna stick in there, hang in there with the Ravens while they're going through these turbulent times. But at the same time, they're gonna complain. They're gonna make the noise like they're making. Like you say, they want everybody fired right now.
Yeah.
And
everybody must go.
Yeah, they must go. But it's tough times for the Ravens, man. I mean, if you really look at this thing and what's going on with the injuries and all that kind of stuff, I mean, these are some really, really tough times. And it's the performance just has been horrible. What they put out on that field is terrible, man. It's terrible. Yeah, and that's true, man. I mean, sticking with the Ravens, I mean, maybe we're not watching the whole game. Maybe, like Landon said, maybe we flipping the channel, watching the other game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see some good games.
Yeah.
Some good football, I'm glad it's a bye week this week.
Yeah.
So that we kind of can maybe watch some other games just to kind of get that taste out of our mouth, of what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks here. Well, to start really the last 5-6 weeks, start the season.
What you think about if the Ravens do make a trade, and I think everybody is we all leaning towards them being able to make a trade or two. Where do you think they might go as far as filling what position? It's a lot of holes to fill.
Yeah, the line.
The line.
Both of them, offensive and defensive line.
Yeah.
Clearly, you want somebody that's going to protect Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Where that hole is on the offensive line, I mean, pick one.
Right.
Pick one.
And throw Stanley's injury in the mix too, because that's that same ankle that he had problems with before.
Yeah.
So we don't really know the availability of him going down the stretch.
Yeah.
Is that ankle gonna hold up?
And he probably the most important guy on the line.
Yeah.
With protecting that blind side.
Yeah.
And again, we don't, with his health, he definitely not playing at 100%.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And so, again, what I don't know, because I know we talked about it last time we were on with Eric DeCosta. The guy, he got to feel some pressure to fill some of these holes and to fix some of this stuff some of these issues. Some of the ultimate responsibility got to lay on his feet as well. We talked about, you hear a lot about Harbaugh got to get fired and they're being out-coached and all these things, which, they're legitimate gripes. And I don't bash people, man, when they feel like Harbaugh got to go. I get it. But at the same time, you got to look at the roster. So again, man, when you trying to navigate through injuries, you got Matabike out, who is a stout defensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? All pro type of lineman.
Yeah. And
he's out. He's out for the season. It's not easy to replace that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not easy to replace that. And so you would hope with his production, you would hope maybe 2, maybe 3 guys could fill that gap. to kind of make up for the production that he had there on the defensive line. So and that's when the depth comes in. You know what I'm saying? So DeCosta has to really get on his grind here, just to figure out, number one, what kind of moves can he make? What is it going to be kind of like the trade he just made with San Diego, where it was a player for player, and you saved a little cap space there? Or is it one of those, we can move draft picks for a player? So Eric DeCosta will have to get creative, here in these next couple of weeks. And I think the trade deadline is in November at some point.
Yeah, I think it's the 4th, November 4th.
So straight up in rebuilding mode with Lamar coming up on 10 years. We need to look at his successor. Damn, already?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Time flies.
Hopefully it's not an old type of injury.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. It just the bye week came at a good time for the Ravens.
I think so.
This year with the injuries, and as guys are starting to come back, so hopefully after the bye, that we'll be back. We'll have a lot of the main guys back out there, and again, the schedule is not going to be. We don't have Little Sisters of the Poor on the schedule. We don't have the homecoming game for Morgan.
No.
We don't have that going to schedule, so they gotta. You play the schedule that's in front of you, which of course, but you just gotta come out there. Hopefully, man, your guys are back, ready to go. They make a move or two that'll be helpful, and can kind of get the season turned around. They fighting uphill. You 1-4. What are they, 1-4, 1-5?
1-5, right?
1-5. So, damn. Yeah, have to see. Yeah, 1-5.
11 games left.
So you gotta win 4 games just to even up.
If they win 9 games, that'll be 10 wins in the season. So they'd be 10-7.
Mm.
Now, whether 10-7 is good enough to get in or not, I'm not sure. I know that our division is not doing that well with Cleveland and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is playing well. So I don't know. 10-7 might do it, but I think you might want to go. You might want to get 11 wins to be sure.
Yeah, you definitely want to get in.
Yeah, so
and but I mean, just like you say, we fighting uphill.
Yeah,
it's an uphill battle for sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's an uphill battle this year, man. There ain't no guarantees.
And and when you are a team like the Ravens, and with Lamar Jackson on the team, the Ravens are one of the teams that's on national television the most.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're right there, and the league is always watching the Ravens. And a lot of times when you're sitting there and you keep watching these guys over and over on national TV on these games, I mean, you get kind of familiar with what they're doing. So, I mean, to me, the Ravens need to keep that kind of stuff in mind, particularly offensively. Monken need to, come up with some stuff that throw people off balance. I mean, the thing in the league, what defensive coordinators look for is that thing of somebody doing the same thing. You prepare your game plan predicting the Ravens are going to do this offensively. And, you have to be able to throw some things in there that'll confuse the defense. You have to do that. You can't come in there and be so predictable. When Derrick Henry go out and Justice Hill come in, automatically you kind of know what the story is, what kind of play is going to be called. So Monken need to, kind of come up with some little bit more complexity on those plays and not just being so daggone predictable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, Landon made a good point with we got 2 games each with
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and winning any of those games would help division wise.
And one with Cleveland. So we've
one,
only
yeah.
played one game within the division with 1-0. So this can help us a lot.
So with Cincinnati trading for Flacco,
Right.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why you would. It just shows me that Cleveland Browns are just a horribly run organization.
Yeah, it's some dysfunctionality going on over there.
When just from from having Deshaun Watson still on the roster. In the offseason, you sign Flacco, you sign Kenny Pickett, you draft
Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
And they end up signing Huntley in the preseason as well.
Right.
They cut Huntley, which we kind of figured was going to happen, but I don't even understand why they signed him to begin with. You trade Kenny Pickett before the season started, and then now you trade Flacco. So now you're left
within the division.
So now you're left with the 2 rookies. You're still paying Deshaun Watson. And then you got the foolishness last week with the head coach, and they're asking him, well, you're trading Flacco. Who's going to be the backup? Well, it's clear Shedeur is going to be the backup. And he talking about he doesn't know who's going to be the backup. And, we'll see. I mean, this nonsense. Nonsense, man. And they wonder why, that they in the predicaments that they're in. And just a couple years ago, Cleveland was a team that people thought was going to make a turn.
Right.
They were a team that were contending. They were
in
on the upswing. He was the hot new coach.
They were in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah, he was the hot new coach.
Got Flacco off the couch.
Yeah, Flacco came in there and put a little spark under him. I just don't understand how Cleveland is operating there. Myles Garrett, in my opinion, is a Hall of Famer. I think he's clearly a Hall of Famer, whether it's my opinion or not.
First ballot.
He is the first ballot Hall of Famer. And I thought for sure that he was getting out of there after last season. When he was a free agent, I thought for sure he either took and ran and got the money. But he showed what type of guy he was, man, that he even entertained a contract offer from them and took it. And he stayed.
Yep.
And he has to know the dysfunction of the team more so than anybody. You know what I'm saying? And he decided, I'm going to stay here in Cleveland, and I'm going to try to get it done here. And he is a hell of a football player. Hell of a football. He would look awesome in purple.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Awesome. But, man, you feel for a player like that. You know what I mean? A guy like that, man, who, again, first ballot. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I don't get into the whole people deserve to win type stuff. But he deserves better than what he's getting from the organization. You know what I'm saying? Winning come from, you got to put the wins together. But when you got a player of that caliber, you got to do all you can do to help that guy get to the next level. And he's a guy, he can't do it all. He can only do what he can do. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Right as I'm on a roll. Oh, boy. Oh, man. all my turn station people, don't take this personal. Don't take this personal. I believe at some point he might mess with a girl down there or something and got ran out of there in some kind of way.
Yeah,
because that was big back in the day. You know, don't come down there and see nobody, don't see no female. You will get ran up out of there. So I think he holding on to that.
Yeah,
and he hard on turning.
Ernest Station.
But you're still my guy, Landon. You still my guy. You a part of the show. You don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Some of your commentary just lightens the mood up. Just what we need. Matter of fact, this for you, Landon.
Especially during these times.
You know. But yeah, man, you know, I just think Myles Garrett, man, is a guy that just, you know, he deserves better. You know, he deserves better than what he's getting from the organization. You know, and I'd like to see Shedeur. I think Shedeur Sanders will get a shot.
I think so.
In the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
He'll get an opportunity, man, and you know, I ain't one of these ones that say he's gonna be all pro and all this type of stuff. I think he can play. You know, I think he can play at this level. Young fella just need an opportunity.
Yeah, he'll get it.
He just need an opportunity to play, and I think once he get his opportunity and he show, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine, man. But you know, it just the Cleveland Browns, man, they just continue to show you how poorly run of an organization they are. Just poorly run, man. It's just some of the decisions, it's just mind-boggling. You know, and for Cleveland fans, you know, I've seen a couple of videos with Ravens fans putting the paper bags over their heads, and you know, they embarrassed, man. But you imagine being a Cleveland fan? Can you imagine being a Cleveland Browns fan with all this hope? And this year after year, you just disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just disappointment at the disappointment. I had somebody, so I did a video, right? I've done a couple of videos on this Cleveland Brown situation since the spring. And somebody commented on one of my older Cleveland videos on YouTube, maybe over the weekend. And he said to me, he said, we don't take it too personal because this version of Cleveland Browns ain't our team. Our team left us in 96 or 95.
Yeah.
I said, well, I can't argue with you there, buddy.
Right.
You know, and I will not argue that. And I did tell him, I said, you know, I can relate to your pain. Because I was not a fan. I wasn't a fan of how we got the Ravens. You know, I wasn't a fan of it. But, you know, we're talking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It is what it is at this point. And we got 2 Super Bowls.
They forced our hand.
Yeah.
That's all I said. They forced our hand to, you know, to go gangster.
The Browns leave Cleveland and became a winning team.
Right. And another
so did LeBron. LeBron left too.
Yeah, rolled out.
LeBron, have the Indians ever won a World Series?
Who?
The Indians. Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians?
In not in my lifetime.
Not that I can recall.
Maybe back in the 50s or something.
Yeah.
When they had
not that I can recall.
I can't even think of the picture they had back in the day. That was supposed to be really good. Dizzy Dean or something like. Wasn't he with the Cleveland Indians?
I ain't sure, man.
I don't know.
Before my time.
Yeah. Well, you know, this ain't the Cleveland Browns show anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't really care too much what happened out there.
We were nice enough to leave them their name and their colors and uniform and all that. You know, Indy took everything from us.
Yeah.
except the band.
He does something.
Right. Y'all keep that raggedy ass band. We don't want to get that goddamn trumpet off of this Mayflower truck. We ain't taking that band with us. Shit. Yeah. Took everything but the band.
Yeah, y'all can have that shit.
Right.
Yeah. We gonna take the team, the helmet, the colors, all that.
Everything. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they did.
And if I ain't mistaken, they done had 3 stadiums out there since they've been out there, haven't
Who, Indy?
they? Yeah.
I ain't sure. I know 2, but I ain't sure.
I believe because they had they were in the dome when they moved there. I want to say they built the second one, and they just got another one, I think. Or maybe it's just 2. I don't know. But
I think Cleveland, speaking of stadiums, I think they just decided to build a new stadium.
really,
Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I think I saw that on the news today saying that they come to agreement to build a new stadium. Turns out been safe.
yeah, you got to know somebody down there, man.
Right.
Got to know somebody. You know somebody, you're good.
He's safe. Oh boy.
Yeah. So that's enough Cleveland talk.
Yeah.
It's great to be NBA season.
Yeah.
I've been caught a couple of little preseason games. I ain't watched the whole game, but I watched a few little, quarter here, quarter there.
Is Kyrie healthy?
I haven't seen them yet.
Because
I've seen some clips. I haven't seen him on the court.
Okay.
But I have seen the young fella,
Cooper.
Not
Not Rush, but Flash.
Rush. Not Rush.
This other Cooper is the real deal.
Yeah, he looked like he's gonna be pretty good.
Look how he's gonna be pretty good.
Look like he's gonna be pretty good. And it's just something about he just got that look.
Yeah.
He looked like he the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got a little swag to him.
Yeah. Yes.
He played with a lot of confidence.
I like to see him, Kyrie, and AD together.
Yeah.
See how that's gonna work out down there in Dallas.
Barring injury.
Right.
Dallas will be good, barring injury.
Right.
We know AD will go down.
Yeah.
AD will go down.
Right. Kyrie coming off of a pretty significant injury.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward, to watching some basketball this season.
You still coaching?
Yeah, I'll be back at it.
Okay.
I got about 30 days before we kick off.
Yeah.
November 15th. So I'll be back on that grind. And I'm looking forward to it just to see. Always, I got the younger guys, so really most of the guys that I had last year are gonna have to go up.
Okay.
So I pretty much
starting kind of fresh.
Be starting fresh. And you want your better players on the varsity anyway. You want your JV guys to be more developmental to get them ready for the big show. We got a tournament that's gonna be up at the high school. I want to say right after Christmas. I think either 2 or 3 days. It's pretty. Got some pretty heavy hitters coming in.
Okay.
So, I don't know the format. I don't know how it's formatted just yet. If it's going to be like a tournament or like a, how you just play a game.
Yeah, right.
Play this team one day, then another team the other day. I don't think it may not be a champion of the. I don't know the format, but I saw some of the names of the teams that's committed, and I said, yeah, this gonna be pretty good, and it's in memory of Coach Duncan Anderson that passed away this spring.
Okay.
The tournament is in his memory. There's a scholarship foundation in his name, and this tournament the proceeds are going to go to the scholarship foundation. So I think, and it's the first annual. So I think they're going to try to make it an annual event.
Keep that thing going, yeah.
Yeah. So he made a name around Baltimore as a coach. He coached at Dundalk. Was one of the very instrumental in getting the program to the levels that they got to a few years ago when they went to the state championship game in 2015. I believe he was on the sidelines for that, and he kind of helped to get a lot of those kids over to Dundalk. So he coached football, basketball at Dundalk. He was team Holy Dirt. He was the chairman, president. He started that organization, and they were a pretty big organization in football. I met Duncan as a coaching baseball over at Northwood. So he's always been around kids coaching, and some of those kids that were on that T-ball team at Northwood end up at Dundalk with him. So was around them from the time they were 5 years old all the way through high school. So you just imagine, that type of impact that he had on a lot of kids in the Baltimore area, and a lot of young men, went to college based off his tutelage, and just him guiding and leading them, man. So the tournament, I'll have some more information on that as I get it. Definitely be sharing that with everybody. Just, people come out. And a lot of times during the holidays, people look for little tournaments to go to, watch little high school basketball. So that's going to be a good look, with some of the teams. Like I said, some of the teams that I saw on the initial list. I don't know if all of them are coming, but going to be some pretty good basketball. So I'll definitely be sharing that as I get more information on that. Moving forward, looking forward to watching some college basketball too. I know last year I went to a game. I went to a Loyola College game. They played Hampton, so I watched Loyola and Hampton play last season, and try to take advantage of that when I can. To get to some college games. Morgan. We got Morgan, Coppin, Loyola, Towson. So we got some Division I schools right here in the area. So I try to get out and support when I can, to watch. And I know they got an event that's going to be at the arena downtown, where I believe Loyola, Towson, Morgan, and Maryland are all going to be competing against. It's a 1 day, so I don't know who's playing against who. But I think those 4 schools are involved with that. And that'll be down there at the arena. And I believe that's in like November or early December. So that, again, that'd be a good thing to get to if, you want to see some college basketball, and then you get a chance to see the local teams. Mm-hmm. And I think, man, too, people should make effort to get out there to that's right, Landon. That's right. South Carolina women is coming to Coppin this year as well. So that's going to be huge.
Wow.
That's a huge game. And Coppin, last year they had 2 years ago, LSU came.
Wow.
When Angel was there.
Yeah, you're right. I remember.
I think it was 2 years ago, yeah. So, Coppin, they able to bring some of these bigger schools in, and it's big of those bigger schools to come to a Coppin. Coppin Arena only holds about 5,000 to 6,000 people. When these schools, LSU and South Carolina, they used to play in front of 15,000, 20,000.
Right.
Easy. But to come down to Baltimore and to play at Coppin State, man, just to give people an opportunity to see, that level of basketball right here in Baltimore City. It's a good thing, man. And I know if the tickets aren't on sale yet, I know when they do go on sale, they're gonna sell out quick.
They're gonna go fast.
The South Carolina team. I know when LSU came, those tickets went pretty quick. And so yeah, man, it's just, a lot of local flavor. We got to really start supporting these local schools. The high school scene, just getting out and seeing some high school basketball for people that's looking for things to do. I know Baltimore County, where I coach, the games are 4:00 for JV games and 5:30 for varsity games. So, you ain't got to worry about being out late, on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday evening. You can be home by 8:00. Most of those games are over by 7:30ish at the latest. Get out and support some high school basketball this season. If you're able to, get out and support some youth basketball. I want to get out and watch some of the kids play around some of these local areas, man, and some of the colleges. And I may try to get down and catch a Wizards game. I haven't seen a Wizards game personally. And it's been a long time. I think the last time I went to a Wizards game, man, this may have been before. I want to say it was after Jordan was there.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you talking
John
Gilbert
Wall was
Arenas
there.
and them guys.
I
I didn't see Wall. I think I saw Gilbert Arenas and them guys.
Yeah.
But it was definitely after the Jordan years. But I was also on my bucket list. I've never been to the Garden. So I like to get up there to Madison Square Garden and catch a game. Catch the Knicks or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Philly right up the street. Catch a Philly game. So we got some options.
Definitely.
We got some options here. Niece is playing for Bishop McNamara, #1 in the country. Yeah, you got to keep us posted on that. I know Bishop McNamara. I always hear about them.
Wow, they #1, huh? Wow.
They always pretty good. So she must be your niece by marriage. Can't be by blood.
Why you say that?
Yeah, I'm throwing shots. So we stay catching them. We stay catching strays over here. I'm throwing them over. I'm throwing them back. I'm shooting shots back. It got to be by marriage, But that's good stuff, man. She playing over there at McNamara.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I just I'm glad it's a bye week. This week I'm glad it's a bye, and we don't have to worry about what happened Sunday when we come on next Tuesday. We ain't got to worry about that.
Exactly.
And hopefully, there'd be a trade or something we could talk about, or maybe they fired a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. Not that I want Zach Orr to get fired,
Land to say shots fired. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think Zach done bought him a little bit of time with his performance Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
He bought him a little bit of time. So it's all going to be about this bye, like you say, relaxation for the team. Hopefully these guys can heal up. Maybe Stanley's ankle can heal up. Roquan and Lamar expected back. It's just been an injury-riddled season, so having an early bye, like you mentioned earlier, it was really right on time. I typically like a later bye week to give the team a chance to, rest up heading into the last, 6 or 7 games of the season. But But it's right on time this year due to all these injuries and all the madness that's been going on, and trades and Zach Orr in the hot seat and all this stuff going on. So hopefully things can settle down and they can right the ship and get these Ravens back on track. I think they can do it.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah.
We hope that they can get back on track. Because again, it seemed impossible right now. You know what I'm saying? It seemed impossible when you 1-5 and the way they've been looking in these 5 losses. Or at least the last couple. The last couple they just look bad. The first couple could have went either way.
Yeah.
Those games that could have went either way, but just the last few games, man, when they're losing bad, and like you say, with all the injuries and stuff, you just hope, you hope that, once some of these guys start coming back, that would kind of change the trajectory a little bit, and then we'll be fine, So, next week, we'll try to do something a little different. We like I said, we got this time of year, man. Everything. Basketball is coming.
Ain't jumping off.
NBA is coming. World baseball playoffs is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Right now, I watched a few games, and we haven't talked a lot of baseball on the show. But I know we baseball fans, and I generally with my schedule, it's hard for me, especially during the afternoons, to be home, to watch anything. And I was got home yesterday, and then before I left, watching afternoon playoff baseball. There's something that's nostalgic about that for me. You know what I'm saying? To watch a baseball game at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Playoffs with the stadiums are packed, and the playoff baseball is just different. From an atmosphere standpoint, because it's everything is ratcheted up, and it's just exciting. And I wasn't asleep at the job, man. I was working. I was working. But to be able to watch baseball during the day, playoff baseball during the day, just kind of take me back to my childhood. I was a big baseball fan growing up. And to be able to, I remember getting off the school bus and coming home, and there's a playoff game on, there's a baseball game on right after school. So, just be able to watch some playoff baseball and, that high level of baseball this time of year is always good. It's hopeful that my team will get the playoffs at some point. Again, a couple years ago they got in the playoffs. I was fortunate enough in 2023 to go to a playoff game. Very first time in my life I've been to a playoff game in baseball. And, to be there for that, it was different. The atmosphere was a little different. The stadium was rocking. Everybody had on the orange. The atmosphere was different. We just lost the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that would have made it better, is that if the Orioles would have won the game. Is that why you can't watch sports today? Yeah, I got a job, brother. I got a job. I got to go make a little money. I got to pay these bills and keep these lights on. So, and I actually do work when I go to work. I know that concept is a little foreign to you, my brother. You say Hickey had a day release program. And you know that how? Yeah. How would you know that? How would you know about the Hickey Day Release Program? So I had to I had to send you a link after you start coming up on here, and we can go back. We can go toe to toe. My guy Landon, guy Landon. So I don't know, Dean. I don't know if he had some technical difficulties over there, or what the case is.
Yeah, I was here making some adjustments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's, baseball, man. So it's that time of year. You got basketball starting, playoffs jumping off for baseball. The WNBA season just wound up. Las Vegas Aces just won another championship. They got the third championship in 4 years. And what's the young lady's name? The MVP over there. The I'm out of Badam. I'm Bam's girlfriend.
Right.
What's her name? I apologize for not knowing her name. But I saw a few of those games. I didn't get to watch the whole series. I watched a few of those games. And if you're not watching WNBA basketball as a sports fan, you're missing out. I'm gonna say that. Man. Women's basketball has come a long way. The women's game is definitely from a visual standpoint. If you like Agent Wilson, thank you, my brother. Let me see. If you got something to say. The technical difficulties came because you over there stealing Wi-Fi, huh?
Oh, I swear. Coming up with his material. Well, he sure enough be coming up with it. It ain't planned because
Nah.
because he freestyling. It's off the dome.
Yep. Landing the dude when you was kids, man, you didn't want to see him coming. Somebody always on joke time. Oh shit, here he come.
Here he come.
You doing a goddamn uniform check, making sure sneakers is on point.
Right.
Jeans is creased up the right way.
Don't want to give him
got
no
the right
material.
kind of shirt on. And please don't have had that stuff on earlier in the week. Oh, you had that on Monday. He one of them. He ain't gonna let it go. he ain't gonna let it go. And I worked with this brother. It was a short time. We ain't worked together long, but we worked together, and this is what work was like. This is what it was like at work. And people wonder, how was they even getting anything done?
Right.
But at work you got to make work. You got to make the atmosphere. You got to create the atmosphere. And the crew we had, we created a cool environment. And we got the work done, but we had to create that environment just to get through those days. And old Saunders over there, man, he came right in, and marked his territory right away. Right away. He let it be known. I ain't here for y'all foolishness. All this right here, this is me. Yeah, Landy came in and took 2 cubicles. They assigned him one, and the other one he just bogarted. He just took that one. He said, "Yeah, that's me."
Yeah.
Now, nobody had need for 2 cubicles. He decided he needed another cubicle, and had a sign on it. I said, "Yeah, this brother's an original."
Yeah.
My guy though, my guy. Yeah. So did you get to watch any of the WNBA?
No, I did not. I did not catch any WNBA. I have not watched any baseball, and admittedly, for baseball, I haven't watched baseball in some years now.
Oh,
yeah. So, I'm a staunch fantasy baseball participant every year, but I don't watch baseball. Figure that out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't. I've been a little slack on basketball during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll be able to watch a little bit more this year, and I'll be able to get into a little bit more. And as you was mentioning, some of the teams around, get out and check out some of the games a little bit more this year.
Yeah.
At some of them basketball games, and like to see that number 1 team that Landon mentioned. I like to get out there and see them play.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big stuff right there.
I like watching high school basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It is awesome to see young kids playing basketball at a high level. With the advancements in the game today, the way the game is played, and you watch these young guys, man, they out there with, just getting up and down the court, the speed, the skill level, that you're seeing with these young guys and young ladies, because I love basketball. I love the game. I can go watch, sit in the gym all day and just watch games, and be entertained. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I have opportunity to do that, yeah, I take advantage of it. I take full advantage of it, man. It's relaxing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
To see it. You know what I mean? It's real relaxing.
And it's real good, man, to see, when we know that we got some real talent in the area and some highly recruited players and all that kind of stuff. It's good to get out there to see some of these from enjoying crime. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Because throughout the years, I'd have missed some players, man. I missed Tavon Austin playing high school football.
Yeah, I missed them too.
Yeah, things like that. You really don't want to miss these talented athletes coming through, and you got a number 1 team in the nation, man. It's like we should be laying eyes on them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Catching games like, and I saw Quigley play out there with John Carroll, and he in the NBA. It's good to see some of those players, man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Angel play high school ball.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, so that would have been nice, man, to catch some games from her. So can't be letting these things slip by.
Yeah, and then shout out to Angel too, man. She getting it done. That team, team wasn't really good this year. But man, Angel was a legitimate superstar.
Oh yeah.
She's legit. And she just signed a big deal with Victoria's Secret. You know what I'm saying? I think she's the first athlete to secure a deal with Victoria's Secret, and she'll walk the runway in the big Victoria's Secret show, from what I understand.
So that's gonna be nice.
So shout out to Angel, because I know the deal was pretty lucrative. And that's just among other things. I know her sneaker did really well on its first release. Sold out. You know what I mean? Her new Angel Reese sneaker with Reebok. Among other endorsements that she had. I mean, she's killing it on and off the court. I hear a lot of people criticize her for the way she plays. Angel is a nuts and bolts player. You hear people comparing her to Caitlin Clark a lot because of, they came in with that rivalry. But they're not even comparable players. When you talk about player for player, they're not even comparable. They're not the same type of player. And I think it get lost, when you try to compare the production. Angel's not the same type of scorer that Caitlin Clark is. Angel is, she gonna play defense. She's gonna rebound the basketball. She gonna be aggressive. She's boisterous. She's loud on the court. She's a leader. She bringing some grit to the games with her, man. So she take a lot of heat for things. I think people try to find reason to kind of beat up on her a little bit, and I don't think it's warranted. I think she's going to be a hell of a player. And if she's on the right team, she's on a team with a better point guard, better guard play. She's on a team where they got a little more help scoring the ball. Her game looks a whole lot different if she's on the right team. So she's clearly one of the best players in the league. I don't think she gets a lot of credit for that, because she's one of those ones. She's the type of player, man, that a lot of people love to hate her. Because she's confident. Confidence is not a thing that a lot of fans don't like. She got that little bit of arrogance about her. She played with her attitude. She's a little rough around the edges, and she's the type. Ever since she did the "You Can't See Me" to Caitlin Clark in the championship game a couple of years ago, she became the villain. She became the villain, and she's embraced it. I don't know that she particularly likes it all the time, just from stuff I've heard, but she has embraced that, and she realizes that, hey, I'm going to continue to be who I've always been on the court, on and off the court. You know what I'm saying? She's not changing who she is to fit what makes somebody else comfortable. And some of the stuff I've seen people write about her, and some of the stuff I've seen people say about her, the things that don't have anything to do with basketball. It's just unfortunate. This is the climate that we live in with social media, man. And people just say things about people and say things, to people. Well, they don't say them to them, but they say things about people they would never say to them to their face. And that the keyboard, has produced a lot of gangsters, a lot of tough guys and gals, if you will. They go out and they just say all a bunch of nonsense. And, I guess I don't know what kind of excitement they get from being keyboard gangsters and feeling like, you just told somebody or you said something about somebody. And some of the vile stuff that I see and some of the ignorant comments I see made about not only Angel, but other athletes and entertainers, people that, these people probably would never, ever meet in life, never have a sit down with them. They just, take their shots at them. And for whatever reason, I guess they feel good about that. So it says more about who you are as a person rather than, who these people are or who you try to make them out to be. So look like I lost my guy. And, go ahead and wrap it up. But the Ravens, 1-5. The bye week is among us. So Ravens fans, you got this week where you can go to church, have Sunday dinner with your family. You ain't got to worry about the Ravens this week. You ain't got to worry about the Ravens winning or losing this Sunday. You can take this Sunday off and relax. And we come back next week, and we got the Chicago Bears in Baltimore. So, hey, what you say? Let me see what my man say. You got to be good for them to hate you. That's facts. That's facts. Nobody is hating on somebody that ain't good. So she doing something to get all the attention she getting from all these so-called sports fans, whatever. They a bunch of idiots to me. But thank everybody for tuning in, man. If you're watching on any of the socials, man, make sure you subscribing to the YouTube page. Make sure you following the Facebook and Instagram pages, the Sports Mix Podcast, on those platforms. I'm also on TikTok, the Sports Mix Podcast, and trying to grow these platforms and grow these the followers and get people up, checking out content out, man. Like I said, basketball season coming, the baseball playoffs have started. Ravens on the bye week, so football season is off and running. So we'll be here talking some sports next week. Even with the Ravens on the bye, we'll have something to talk about. And I hope y'all tuned in. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Show your boy some love, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and just participating. And make sure y'all then haven't and our resident comedian, Landon Saunders, he's a frequent commenter. He's been on the show before as well. He's been on the show. He's been on the panel with us talking. So y'all tune in, man. But appreciate man. Y'all comment. I'll get your comments on the screen. And look for, we like the back and forth with people watching and that interaction. It's helpful to keep the flow going and to keep the show going as well. So until next week, next Tuesday, 9:00, we'll be here live on the Sports Mix Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all. But I'm out. Y'all have a good one.